You're stuck at 30% body fat, and you think the answer is eating less and suffering more every day. But that belief is exactly why you keep losing weight, gaining it back, and starting over again next January. The people who actually transform their bodies aren't the ones with more willpower than everyone else around them. They're the ones who quietly build small habits that make staying lean feel automatic instead of exhausting constantly. Today, I'm giving you 10 underrated habits that move you from stuck to lean without turning life into a diet. Some of these are about food, some are about training, and a few have nothing to do with either one. And the 10th habit might be the one that decides whether the other 9 ever actually work for you. But we start with something you've done since you were a toddler, something you've completely forgotten the power of: walking. Before you add another brutal cardio session, open your phone right now and check your average daily steps. Some people train hard for 1 hour, then sit at a desk for the other 15 waking hours. Their workout is intense, but their total daily movement is embarrassingly low compared to what they assume. Walking increases something called NEAT, the energy your body burns through movement outside of structured workouts. You don't need to chase 10,000 steps immediately, you just need to beat yesterday's average slightly. If you're averaging 4,000 steps, aim for 5,000, then let that become your new normal. Walk during phone calls, park farther away, take the stairs, walk after dinner instead of collapsing onto the couch. None of these decisions feel powerful alone, but repeated daily, they completely reshape your total energy output. Think of it like turning a thermostat up 1 degree at a time until the whole room changes. And walking recovers faster than intense cardio, which means you can stack it with resistance training easily. So find your baseline, then build from there slowly, because movement is only half of this entire equation. What if you could control your food intake without obsessively counting every single bite you take? That brings us straight into habit number 2, and it's simpler than you think it should be. Shrink your eating window and stop giving yourself unlimited permission to eat from morning until midnight. Picture a normal day: breakfast at 7, a snack at 10, lunch at noon, another snack, then dinner. Every single meal feels reasonable alone, but stacked together, those calories quietly add up without you noticing it. This is where time-restricted eating, often called intermittent fasting, becomes a genuinely useful and practical tool. Not because fasting magically burns fat, but because a shorter window creates a clear boundary around eating. Think of calories like money. Small purchases all day feel harmless until you check your account balance. A defined eating window closes those small purchases and forces intention back into every single meal you eat. Start with 12 hours eating and 12 hours fasting. Nothing extreme, nothing that disrupts your entire life. Once that feels easy, try 14 and 10, and eventually 16 and 8 if it fits you. Finish dinner by 8, eat your first meal around noon, and let the structure do quiet work for you. But remember, the window is a tool, not a magic switch that overrides basic calorie math entirely. 3,000 calories crammed into 8 hours will still stop fat loss, no matter how disciplined you feel. Once your eating window shrinks, the real question becomes what you actually eat during that shorter window. Because one nutrient can keep you full while protecting the muscle you're working so hard to keep. That brings us to habit number 3, and this one might be the most powerful on this entire list.
Build every single meal around protein first, before you think about anything else on your plate. Losing weight is only half the battle, because losing muscle alongside fat leaves you smaller, not stronger. Protein gives your body the raw materials it needs after training creates the signal to rebuild muscle tissue. Think of muscle like a brick wall. Training sends the order, and protein delivers the actual bricks. Protein also keeps you full longer than almost any other nutrient you could choose to eat instead. Compare chicken, eggs, and Greek yogurt to a bag of chips at the exact same calorie count. One keeps hunger away for hours, the other disappears in minutes and leaves you searching for more. Protein even burns more calories to digest than fat or carbs, giving you a small metabolic advantage. So before worrying about anything else, ask yourself one simple question: where is my protein coming from? Choose your protein source first, then build vegetables, carbs, and fats around it based on your goals. You don't need a perfect number every meal, you need consistency repeated across weeks and months instead. But even perfect protein intake collapses the moment someone puts your favorite pizza directly in front of you. Habit number 4 is about exactly what you do in that exact moment of temptation and craving. Plan a meal where you eat something you genuinely love, because forbidden food always eventually wins the fight. Most diets fail because they create rules nobody can realistically follow for more than a few weeks. No pizza, no burgers, no dessert, no eating out, until one stressful day breaks the entire system completely. One burger becomes fries, dessert, snacks, and sometimes an entire lost weekend followed by crushing guilt afterward. Instead, build planned flexibility. One meal a week where you enjoy pizza, burgers, or dessert intentionally and guilt-free. This is not a cheat day. You're not trying to eat everything you avoided all week long. You're simply making room for joy inside a plan you can actually sustain for months, not weeks. The biggest benefit isn't physical, it's psychological, because permission removes the desperation that destroys most diets completely. Getting lean isn't about the strictest month, it's about a pattern you still recognize as your life. But even a sustainable plan crumbles quietly when nobody around you knows whether you're actually following it. That brings us to habit number 5, because sometimes progress means refusing to do this completely alone. Accountability. Something that has nothing to do with calories, protein, or cardio, yet changes everything about consistency. When nobody knows your goal, quitting is silent and easy. Nobody notices when you skip your walk, you miss a workout, nobody asks. One flexible meal becomes an entire lost weekend without any resistance whatsoever. Now imagine doing this exact same journey with a friend, partner, family member, or a dedicated coach instead. Someone else knows the goal now. You check in weekly, you compare steps, you celebrate real progress together. When motivation disappears, and it eventually will, someone reminds you exactly why you started this in the first place. Create a small group of 2 or 3 people, set a 12-week shared goal, and track it. Steps, protein consistency, workouts completed, nothing complicated, just visible commitment shared with people who actually care. Knowledge was never really the problem. You already know what to eat and how to train correctly. Accountability is underrated because it turns private failure into public commitment that's much harder to quietly abandon. But there's another problem that makes even disciplined people crave more food and train significantly worse regardless. And unlike the first 5 habits, you fix this one by doing absolutely nothing at all actively.
Habit number 6 is sleep, the one most people ignore because it doesn't look like fat loss. You can eat perfectly, hit every step goal, and train 4 times weekly, yet still sabotage everything completely. Sleep 5 hours a night, and the entire process becomes exponentially harder than it ever needed to be. Think of your body like a machine. Training is the work, food is fuel, sleep is recharging. When you're sleep deprived, appetite regulation breaks down, and cravings for dense processed food increase dramatically overnight. You have less energy for movement, you walk into workouts already exhausted before you've lifted anything heavy. That planned workout suddenly feels twice as hard, and ordering takeout feels far easier than cooking dinner. Sleep doesn't magically burn belly fat, but it supports every decision required to actually stick to your plan. Aim for roughly 7 to 9 hours, build a consistent bedtime, dim your lights, and put your phone away. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet, and treat sleep with the same seriousness as your training sessions. Sometimes the best thing you can do for tomorrow's diet is simply go to bed earlier tonight. But there's another hidden reason people struggle with consistency that has nothing to do with motivation whatsoever. Sometimes the problem is sitting 3 feet away from you, quietly waiting inside your own kitchen cabinets. Habit number 7 is your environment, something far more powerful than willpower could ever hope to be. Picture walking into your kitchen after a brutal day, cookies on the counter, ice cream in the freezer.
You promise yourself you'll resist, but every glance forces another decision, and willpower eventually loses that constant battle. So stop fighting your environment and redesign it instead, starting with exactly what's visible in your kitchen. Keep fruit, Greek yogurt, and lean protein easy to see and easy to grab without any real thought. Foods you tend to overeat shouldn't sit directly in front of you and shouldn't come home in bulk. Apply the same principle to movement: shoes by the door, gym clothes ready the night before completely. Think of your environment like a river. Fighting the current means swimming upstream exhausted every single day. Redesign that river, and suddenly it pushes you toward the exact choices you already wanted to make. Don't build a plan requiring heroic discipline daily. Build a life where the better choice becomes effortless. Once you understand this principle, you can apply it directly to why you keep missing your workouts. Habit number 8 is resistance training, but the real secret here isn't about training harder at all. Most people ask, what's the best time to train? But that's genuinely the wrong question to ask. The better question is simple: what time am I least likely to actually skip this workout entirely? Resistance training matters because your goal isn't just a smaller number, it's fat loss with muscle preserved. You tell yourself you'll train after work, then a meeting runs late and traffic becomes genuinely unbearable. Dinner needs made, you're tired, and suddenly tomorrow sounds like a much more reasonable day to start. If this keeps happening, experiment with training in the morning before your day gets any chance to interfere. Drink water, wear the clothes you prepared last night, and train before excuses have time to form. Morning training creates a psychological win too. You've already done something hard before most people wake up. But mornings aren't magically superior. If evenings work better for you, keep training in the evening consistently. The real habit isn't training at 5 a.m., it's protecting a schedule you can genuinely repeat weekly. A mediocre workout schedule you actually follow beats a perfect schedule you consistently and quietly abandon completely.
We've covered movement, food, protein, flexibility, accountability, sleep, and environment. But habit 9 is refreshingly simple. Grab a glass and fill it with water, because this next habit starts before this video even ends. Drink more water and make it your default beverage instead of anything sweetened or unnecessarily calorie-dense. Think about how easily calories sneak in. Sweet coffee at breakfast, soda at lunch, juice in the afternoon. None of these feel like a full meal, but liquid calories add up fast without providing real fullness. Replace calorie-containing drinks with water. Keep a bottle on your desk and carry one in your car. Drink consistently throughout the day and replace fluids lost through exercise or heat without overthinking the exact number. There's no single magic amount everyone needs. Your hydration depends on body size, climate, and activity level. And no, ice-cold water won't dramatically boost your metabolism or melt stubborn belly fat away instantly. The real benefit is simpler. Water keeps you hydrated, supports performance, and replaces drinks that quietly sabotage progress. Now we reach the most important habit, the one that determines whether the other 9 actually matter. You can walk daily, eat protein, sleep well, lift weights, and still completely fail at this journey. Not because those strategies don't work, but because you stopped before they had time to work properly. Habit number 10 holds everything together, and it's simply this: don't give up on yourself completely. If you're starting around 30% body fat, remember, you didn't arrive here overnight or by accident. It took months, maybe years to reach this point. So why expect complete transformation within 3 weeks? This is exactly where people sabotage themselves. They improve everything, then quit when the scale barely moves. Fat loss is rarely a straight line. Your weight fluctuates from water, sodium, food volume, and carbohydrates. Sometimes your waist is shrinking while the scale stays stubbornly still for reasons that have nothing to do with fat. That's why you need to zoom out and think in months, not days, weeks, or single frustrating mornings. You will have bad meals, missed workouts, and busy weeks where motivation completely disappears without any warning. None of that automatically destroys your progress. What matters entirely is what you choose to do next. Get back to your habits. Take the walk, eat the planned meal, complete the workout you scheduled. Transformation doesn't require perfection. It requires enough good decisions repeated consistently over a long enough time. Your job was never to be perfect. Your only real job is to simply stay in the game. Now you have all 10 habits, but here's the mistake I don't want you to make tomorrow. Don't wake up and try changing all 10 at once. That's how motivation collapses into total overwhelm quickly. Build this one layer at a time, starting with walking and your current daily step baseline first. Then improve your sleep, then build meals around protein, then create an eating window that fits your life. Add resistance training at a time you won't skip. Make water your default drink. Clean your environment. Plan flexibility instead of demanding perfection, and find someone who can hold you genuinely accountable throughout this. We're not chasing one magical trick. We're building a system made of hundreds of small, ordinary decisions. Take the walk, choose the protein, go to bed on time, finish the workout you scheduled, drink water instead. Then wake up and do it again tomorrow, because that repetition is where real transformation actually lives. Your progress won't always feel linear. Some weeks will feel incredible, others will feel like nothing's happening. That's exactly when habit 10 matters most. Stay in the game even when results feel invisible temporarily.
So don't ask if you can transform completely this month. Ask what one habit you can improve today. Start there, repeat it tomorrow, build on it slowly, and months from now, you'll barely recognize yourself.